Hi, I'm David Grayson, Workplace Project Manager at Autotrader. My role on the Manchester headquarters project spanned from the early design phase right through to delivery. Planning for the project began in early 2024, starting with finding the right property and then working closely with ClearVC to define what our meeting room technology needed to look like. From the outset, the vision for the new headquarters was to create a workplace that truly reflects Autotrader as a technology-led company. We wanted a space that felt modern, ambitious, and unlike anything we'd seen before. Somewhere that would create a strong first impression, support how our teams work day to day, and help us attract and retain top talent. At the same time, it needed to be highly practical. We were bringing over 1,000 Manchester-based colleagues into one space, with room for future growth, and needed the right mix of meeting rooms, collaboration areas, and event spaces to support that. One of the biggest challenges was simply the scale. Delivering over 70 tech-enabled meeting rooms alongside a large auditorium and a flagship LED installation and reception required a huge amount of planning and coordination across multiple partners. But the most important thing for us was that everything worked from day one. We were bringing people back into the office after an extended break and there was no fallback. The building needed to be fully operational so teams could hit the ground running. If the technology hadn't been ready, it would have had a real impact on collaboration and productivity across the business.
Hi, I'm Andrew Ormrod, Head of Technical at ClearVC. On projects like Autotrader, I'm involved from the earliest stages, working closely with our account manager and directly with the client to understand how they want to use their spaces, developing their technology architecture and ensuring what we design translates into a seamless experience once deployed. For the Autotrader Manchester headquarters, I led the technical design across a total of 86 AV-enabled spaces, including 44 meeting rooms, 14 collaboration spaces, 26 meeting pods with integrated room booking, as well as 2 key showcase environments. We worked through a detailed discovery process, including proof of concept testing and real-world demonstrations. That process gave us the confidence that the final solution would be simple, reliable, and aligned with how Autotrader's team actually work. It ensured we weren't just delivering a technical solution, but creating an environment that works day to day for over 1,300 employees.
I'm Paul Stevenson and I oversee technical projects at Autotrader. From a technical and user experience perspective, the goal was very clear. We wanted to deliver a simple, consistent and reliable meeting room experience. That for us meant a plug and play approach with full compatibility for Apple devices, where users could connect with a single cable and start meetings immediately. Consistency across all spaces was absolutely critical to Autotrader. We wanted users to be able to move between rooms without having to think about how the technology works or adapt to different setups. So whether it's a small meeting room or a large space, the experience is the same: simple, predictable and reliable.
Hi, I'm Kane, the Installation Manager at ClearVC. My involvement started early in the project and continued right through to final handover, ensuring everything was delivered on time, to specification and ready for day one use. A project of this size and complexity will always come with challenges, particularly with a live construction environment. One of the more complex challenges came with the curved LED reception feature. Logistically, this required coordinating the delivery and movement of 40 plus pallets within an active construction space. We were also in the environments that weren't always installation ready. In some cases, that meant installing in non-ideal conditions, protecting equipment and carefully documenting everything to maintain quality standards, while ensuring other contractors could continue their work safely. Every space was tested multiple times before handover, including real-world user testing with different devices and use cases. Any issues were identified and resolved ahead of time to ensure a smooth transition. By the time Autotrader began their move-in, all meeting spaces were fully operational and ready to use from day one. We also maintained a strong on-site presence during the initial period of handover, working closely with the internal teams to provide support and ensure confidence in the new systems. Strong communication was a key driver throughout this project. We worked closely with Autotrader's internal teams, the principal contractor Oktra, and all supporting trades. Weekly updates ensured full transparency with a clear visibility on progress, risks, and upcoming milestones. There was also a strong culture of collaboration on site. On a project like this, it's not just about your own delivery, it's about working together to achieve the end goal. That approach helped keep the project moving, even when challenges arose.
I'm Kaiser, the Senior Project Manager at Oktra. From the outset, the vision for Autotrader's new Manchester headquarters was clear. The goal was to create a modern, highly functional workplace that supports collaboration, innovation, and flexibility for more than 1,300 employees. It needed to reflect the Autotrader brand while also delivering a seamless user experience across the entire workplace. The key priorities were scalability, usability, and consistency. Every space from meeting rooms through to larger presentation environments needed to work intuitively and reliably from day one. ClearVC became involved at an early stage of the project, which was hugely beneficial. It allowed them to contribute to the design process, coordinate with the wider project team, and make sure that the AV requirements were built into the overall plan. That kind of early involvement is essential in modern workplace projects. Technology is no longer something that can simply be added at the end. It's a core part of how the workplace functions day by day. By bringing AV specialists in early, you can properly plan room layouts, infrastructure, cabling, and integration, rather than trying to retrofit solutions later. If that involvement comes too late, the risks are significant. You can end up with technology being fitted around the building, rather than integrated into it. That can create compromises in how spaces function. It can also introduce unnecessary costs and rework. That is why readiness was absolutely critical on this project.
Two of the standout environments within the project are this reception space and the main auditorium. These aren't just high impact areas, they're designed to be conversation starters. The reception features a large curved LED canvas, delivering an impressive visual experience for employees and visitors.
It is also a highly functional space. We can host events, presentations and business updates without needing access to the main office floors. It really delivers that wow factor and creates a lasting first impression.
The reception space wasn't just designed to impress, it needed to function as a flexible, multi-use environment for presentations, events, and day-to-day use. Delivering that required close collaboration with partners and careful coordination with other elements within the space.
With spaces ranging from meeting pods to a large presentation environment, the experience still needed to feel consistent throughout. From there, we scaled the system where needed for larger or complex environments, without changing how a user interacts with the space. The result is a platform that delivers enterprise-level performance while remaining simple and intuitive to use. A key part of this project was creating a connected communication ecosystem across the building. Rather than standalone AV rooms, the spaces are integrated into a wider platform, allowing communication to flow across the workplace. The auditorium builds on that, providing a multi-purpose environment for company-wide presentations, hybrid events, and internal communication. Despite the complexity behind the scenes, both spaces are designed to be simple to operate. What really ties them together is their integration into the wider building. Content can be shared between spaces, meaning communication isn't confined to one room. It can extend across the entire workplace.
The auditorium brought together multiple systems in a single, seamless experience. The real challenge there wasn't just the installation. It was ensuring everything worked together in a way that felt simple and intuitive for the end user.
The auditorium has had a huge impact on how we communicate internally. It's now a fully professional environment for large meetings, leadership presentations and events. The combination of display, audio and lighting creates a much more immersive and engaging experience, and the space is in constant use. It's also given us the ability to host external events and showcase the business in a much more impactful way. Ongoing support has been just as important as the initial delivery. The support from ClearVC has been excellent, to the point where we now have a dedicated on-site engineer to ensure everything continues to run smoothly.
Hi, I'm Andrew Jones, Head of Technical Services at ClearVC. The main challenge with supporting an estate like Autotrader's is balancing scale, complexity and user expectation. Across the building you have spaces serving very different purposes, from quick internal meetings through to high profile events and town halls. The event spaces in particular carry much higher stakes, with multiple AV integrations and live production requirements where there is very little tolerance for failure. Our role is to anticipate potential points of failure, implement proactive monitoring, maintain clear escalation paths, and ensure we have the highly trained support function capable of handling both day-to-day issues and more demanding live event environments. Proactive support is a big part of what makes this possible. Rather than waiting for something to fail during a meeting or presentation, we actively monitor system health, room readiness, and hardware performance. By identifying and resolving issues early, often before end users even notice them, we reduce ticket volumes, minimise business disruption, and take pressure away from Autotrader's internal teams. We've already seen that shift in practice. Since the office move, reactive support tickets have reduced, particularly around system instability and hardware faults. The combination of upgraded technology, room standardisation, and proactive monitoring has moved the environment from being a more reactive to far more preventative. What makes our support model different from a traditional reactive AV service is that we are focused on preventing issues, not just responding to them. We put a lot of effort into preparation, system visibility, knowledge transfer and readiness so that by the time the building is live, the support structure is already in place and operating effectively.
Sustainability was a key driver throughout the design. It needed to align with the wider goal of creating an industry-leading, low-carbon building. We made deliberate technology choices to support that. Sony commercial displays were selected not only for their energy efficiency, but also for the dual-use capability, supporting both collaboration and digital signage with automatic input switching. This removes the need for additional hardware, reducing both energy consumption and system complexity. The LED solution uses LED Studio Eclipse technology, which significantly reduces both power consumption and heat output compared to the traditional LED system.
What I'm most proud of is the attention to detail across every space, from consistency of meeting rooms through to the impact of the larger feature areas. It's those details that elevate the overall experience and make the environment considered and complete. The result is a workspace that not only looks impressive, but genuinely supports how people meet, collaborate, and communicate.
What makes this project stand out is the scale of the delivery, quality of the execution, and how well all the different elements came together, from design and construction through to integrated workplace technology. Everything contributed to creating a space that is modern, highly functional, and built around the needs of the people using it. The feedback we received was very positive, particularly around how well the space functions and how smooth the transition into the new headquarters was. That kind of response is always encouraging because it shows that planning, coordination, and collaboration across the entire team achieved the intended result. Through early coordination between ClearVC and other trades, potential conflicts with other building systems were identified before installation began. Resolving those issues during the planning stage rather than on site saved both time and cost and helped keep the program on track. What stood out about ClearVC was their proactive approach and willingness to work collaboratively with the wider team. They did not just focus on delivering their own scope in isolation, they understood the wider picture and worked with other stakeholders to ensure final solution functioned properly. That mindset makes a real difference on a project like this, because success is not about individual systems working independently. It's about everything coming together seamlessly.
They struck a really good balance between listening to our requirements and challenging things that were needed, offering alternative solutions when something wasn't quite right. What stood out most about their approach was the willingness to go above and beyond. One example is with the digital canvas in the reception area. There was an issue where the screen didn't extend fully to the wall due to discrepancies in the base build. Because the display was custom built and shipped internationally, this could have caused Autotrader a major delay to the project. But ClearVC took ownership of the issue, fabricated a solution on site and completed the installation so that it looked exactly as intended.
We needed everything to be ready from day one, and ClearVC delivered exactly that, meaning we could move back into the office and start working immediately without disruption. Since moving in, the response from the business has been extremely positive. The meeting rooms and collaboration spaces are being used exactly as intended, and the consistent, intuitive experience has made a real difference in how people work. Ease of use was essential for us, and that's been a big part of the success. Working with ClearVC really demonstrated their ability to deliver at this level. Managing everything from large LED installations through to meeting rooms, room booking and digital displays is no small task, but they handled it extremely well. They were consistently supportive, proactive in resolving issues, and often went beyond their remit to ensure everything worked as it should. I would absolutely recommend ClearVC. The level of planning, testing and professionalism they bring is exceptional, and their support doesn't just stop at installation. They genuinely care about making sure we continue to get value from the technology long term.
Looking back, working with ClearVC has been a very positive experience. They've been consistently supportive throughout a complex, multi-year project, helping manage multiple work streams and reduce overall complexity. Without a doubt, I would recommend ClearVC. We started as new partners, but built a strong working relationship over the course of the project, and it's one we look forward to continuing in the future.